Hi there, so this is Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and this video is all about my monthly card class. And so this month's card class is all about the ice cream corner suite. And now the ice cream corner suite can be found in the current mini catalog on page 47. Let me show you here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 48. But it's right here. So the well, here's the ice cream corner suite. Everything in this page here, so the stamp set, the punch, the ribbon, the sprinkles, and the designer series paper is all in the suite, and you can get that with the one item number code. It's $56, and it's all about these items. However, if you want to participate in the class, you'll need to purchase the sweet cream ice cream bundle, which is $31.50, and if you use the bundle code, you save 10% on the punch and the stamp set. Okay, so let me show you the cards that we're gonna make in this class. So we're gonna make a shaker card, looks like this, little shaker card. And then we're gonna make a popsicle card that looks like this. Now, along with all the paper, embellishments, and ribbon in your packet, I always send a third card. And sometimes I use the suite that we're using, but this time there's so many new things out right now, I couldn't help but to use some of the other new products that we have. And so, and look, I made one of every color I think there is. Well, not every color, but all the bright colors I liked. And so for my extra card, we'll call it, that I throw in with your kit, I use the corner bouquet. Now this stamp set is from the Celebration catalog. So Stampin' Up's biggest sale of the year is called Celebration, and with it's like a reward for ordering. So if you place a $50 order, they have stamp sets, designer series paper, more stamp sets, just a bunch of different things from this brochure. And then they have rewards for $100 orders, like a larger stamp set, or maybe a bundle of, let me see here, stamp set and designer series paper. Where's the strawberries? There. And so stuff like that. But so that's, I used the corner bouquet here, and then I also used from the mini catalog the dragon garden bundle, and that's how I got the dragonfly, and where my wording came from was from this bundle, which is also in the mini catalog. But anyway, so that's what would come along with your cardstock embellishments and ribbon. Okay, so let me show you what else you'll need besides the punch and the stamp set, stamping wise, that you'll need, because you'll need inks. I'm going to use Pool Party, Daffodil Delight, Blackberry Bliss, Soft Suede, Calypso Coral, and Black Memento ink. Now, if you had something that was close to this, that would work too. But these are the 5 colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sorry, colors that I'm going to be using when I make my cards. Other items you'll need, of course, is the clear blocks to mount your stamps on. You'll need a chamois or something. I'm going to use a chamois, but you'll need something to clean your stamps with. Adhesive. I'm going to use dimensionals and Stampin' Seal. You'll need a really strong adhesive, and I suggest the tear and tape. And I'll explain later why I think you need the tear and tape. You always need liquid glue, a bone folder, probably a pair of scissors, and of course your pierce mat and a piece of scratch paper. Okay, here we go. And then a couple other things that I would call non-stamping that you would need is some Scotch tape, a pencil, a good eraser, some Post-it notes, and a ruler. Now these things, as you watch me make the cards, you can decide whether you think they're necessary or not, but that is what I'm going to use to make my cards. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the shaker kit. And as I make the cards, and I'm sorry, one more thing you get in your packet is you'll get a printout like this. It shows all the products that I use to make my sample cards, and the pictures of the cards with all their sizes. If you want to cut your own paper, you're more than welcome to go on my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and all the dimensions are on there. Okay, so let me show you. Let's make the shaker card first here real quick. So in my package, you'll notice that I have the Blackberry Bliss up. That's all one card. And then if you turn the packet over, this part will be the second card. So first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and fold my card base. Like I said, this is Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to just fold them in half. Where did I do my bone folder? Here it is. Get a nice crisp fold. My Blackberry Bliss, and set that aside. I need that in a minute. So in your kit too, you'll notice you have a clear envelope and a piece of designer series paper. So I'm going to put that in my clear envelope, making sure that now my flap will go to the back. So I have to decide, I want to use this side of my designer series paper as the front of my card, or you could use this side. It's whichever one you prefer. I'm going to tap that down, make sure it's all the way in the bottom. Okay, and then also in your kit you have this little pack. I made a bunch of little packs, measured out the little sprinkles, and then you're going to dump that in your envelope on top of your designer series paper. Like that. And now the cool thing about this shaker card is you can kind of shake those out, get them flat. You can fold it like this, not seal it, and then check and see, is that how many sprinkles I want? Do I need more? I think that looks just right, so I'm going to go ahead, turn it over, remove that coating there, and go ahead and pull this tight over my designer series paper and seal down that envelope. Okay, then shake that down one more time to the bottom, and then I'm going to take this top part of the envelope and fold it over my designer series paper. Now here's where your Scotch tape is necessary, because I'm going to take this and just tape that edge of the envelope down like that. So one final check now. Check and make sure I'm happy with all my little shakers in there. Do I have enough? Do I have too many? Because you could always go ahead and take this off and open your envelope, but I'm happy. I think that looks good. So then with the ribbon, now I included the polka dot tulle ribbon. You could also use the Blackberry Bliss ribbon, which I think would look beautiful. But at the time that I was making the packets, I hadn't received my ribbon yet, so I went ahead and used the tulle. And then when I did, I was really happy because you can see through it to see the designer series paper behind it. So I stuck with the tulle ribbon. But I'm going to just tie a simple knot around my envelope and designer series paper here, my shaker part. A little knot there, and now I'm going to use this circle that's in your packet. And now this circle was cut from the shapes, the stitch shapes dies, and it's the second to largest of the circles. That's where this circle came from. But I'm going to move this. I think I want my on this side this time. I want it about there. I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to have my ribbon. That's where I want it placed, because then I'm going to turn this over, and now this is where we need that sticky strip. Nope, it's tear and tape. Sticky strip was before tear and tape. We replaced it with tear and tape. If you have sticky strip, that would work too. But I'm going to lay my tear and tape right over my ribbon, and notice how I've kind of sealed that corner where we folded it over with the tear and tape to make sure it stays down. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and then I am going to go ahead and put the tear and tape on all four sides, because people are going to be shaking the card and rough with it, and I really don't want it to come apart. The tear and tape sticks very well to the plastic envelope. Now I think you could probably use Seal It Plus here too, but I use tear and tape. I think the tear and tape is the most user-friendly. It's easy to use, it sticks to the plastic. I'm going with the tear and tape. Okay, I'm going to use my piercing tool here, or my take a pick tool, and get that release paper off. Okay, then I have my card base here. I'm going to make sure I got it straight, or I mean the right side up and straight. And then I'm going to go ahead, try not to get my head in the camera, but I'm going to lay my card shaker on my card here. So it looks like that. So now we have the shaker element almost all done. Okay, so let's set that aside for just a minute and get some stamping. Sorry, I feel the need to make sure that's stuck down there really good. Okay, set that aside. Let's do some stamping. So on my circle here, I like the You're So Cool from the stamp set. I'm gonna bring in my Pierce mat. Oh, and I'm not gonna even start with that. I got a little bit ahead of myself. In the kit, you'll also have a strip here of white cardstock. I'm gonna turn it this way. We're gonna stamp our ice cream cones on there first. And I'm going to start with some Daffodil Delight. And I'm gonna just stamp that there at the bottom. Hold that stamp, let that ink sink into the paper. There we go. And then I need my chamois so I can clean. Now you'll notice my chamois, I keep them in little half box here. I like to cut them up so they're kind of, I don't know, easy to use. I'm gonna just wipe my stamp clean. And then I'm gonna test it on my scratch paper just to make sure that it is clean, because I don't want to stamp on another color with that yellow on there. Put the yellow away, bring in, I'm gonna do Calypso Coral next. Stamp that down there. There we go. And the same thing again, now I'm gonna clean my stamp. Test my stamp. And then bring in that Pool Party. Now I chose to do Pool Party last because I want to use Pool Party on the inside of my card first. And really, I guess I should have stamped my ice cream cone first, but it is what it is. So we're gonna stamp our ice cream cone now. So I need that solid triangle, and then the little crisscross pieces, and some of that soft suede ink. And let me look at my punch, because when my paper goes through my punch, it's gonna look like this. So I want my triangle to look like that on my paper. So let me ink him up. We'll see if I can get this right the first time. If not, I'll show you what the Post-it notes come in handy for. And I'm gonna stamp that off, and then I'm gonna stamp it on my paper, and I hope that that's about right. If not, I can fix it later, not a big deal. And then come back in with those little crisscross and stamp those right there on top, full strength. I did not stamp those off, so now I have my little ice cream cone. Okay, so let's do the inside of our card real quick. So there's a piece of Whisper White. I think it's it's Whisper White. We don't have Whisper White anymore. Now we have Basic White, but I've been using up my Whisper White cardstock. So anyway, and we'll stamp that off again. And I'm gonna just stamp my little ice cream cone, bring back in those crisscross, stamp that full strength right here on my cone, put the brown away, and then bring back in that Pool Party, ink up my ice cream, and lay that right down over my cone. And how cute that is. So there's the inside of mine. And then I want to put a sentiment on the inside, so I'm going to bring in that Blackberry Bliss and the Happy Birthday that's in the stamp set, an image from the stamp set. Ink that up good. I'm gonna test my happy birthday one time on a piece of scratch paper. Yep, looks pretty good. Let me ink it up again. Okay. Try to get it straight here. Stamp that down. Just set on my paper, let that ink sink in. Try not to rock the ink, the stamp. And then, ooh, looks really good. Okay, there's the inside. And then now on that circle and the "You're So Cool" with the blackberry ink, I'm gonna just stamp. Let me see if I can get it straight. "You're so cool" right there on the side of that stitch circle. Okay, so now I think we're all done stamping. Let me put all my inks away for now. Real quick, like, I'm gonna clean my stamps so then they're ready for the next card. It won't take long. I'm not gonna worry about cleaning my ice cream cone. Well, no, yes I am, because we're gonna put him away and put different blocks on there, so never mind. I'm gonna clean him too. This won't take long. And clean this one. Okay, put my chamois away. Now let's finish up our card with the punch now, because now we have it punched. And we'll start with our ice cream. We're gonna just set that right in there. Let's see if I can get it lined up. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna punch that one ice cream, just bring it down. Punch the next ice cream. Whoop. And then the pool party ice cream. And then let's see if I punched or stamped my cone right. I did, looky there. And we'll just punch him out too. Now let me show you, for example, let's say for instance, all I had left was a little piece like this and I can't get it in there and hold it. That's where the Post-it notes would come into order. And I would just take, let me show you, take a Post-it note like this. I would just tear off a strip, place it onto my paper. And then this, which I have on the wrong side, I put on this side of my paper, would be like a handle that I could put it into my punch and punch out that last ice cream. So you might need the Post-it note, you might not, but it's nice to have them handy. And then that way, there you go. You have your ice cream on that little piece of paper and you just peel that Post-it note right off and you'd be good to go. Okay. I worked it out. Hopefully I can remember that's how we need to stamp on our white paper so we don't have to worry about the Post-it note and the ice cream. Let's bring our card back in. While we're here, we'll go ahead and put the inside of our card in there. Just a little bit of adhesive on the back. Right there. Got the inside. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this piece with some dimensionals. And I'm going to put them at kind of the top and the bottom. And maybe they'll just barely straddle the ribbon that's already on the card. Let me move my stuff around. I got too much stuff on my desk. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and lay him about there. Let's go ahead and trim a ribbon. So I'm going to take my ribbon scissors. There, now my ribbon's ready. And now it's time for the ice cream. So I'm going to just take and put I Like the Calypso Coral on top of the pool party. And I'm going to just hold that down with a dimensional. Whoops, I got a bunch of dimensionals here. And then we'll do the same thing with the yellow. Just pile him on top of there with another dimensional. And then last but not least, we have our little ice cream cone here. We'll set that on top or on the bottom, I guess. We'll put the ice cream on top and set that there. Now, I hope that I got them close enough. If not, we'll have to add a couple more dimensionals. But I'm gonna just take those and lay them right here on my card. So it looks like that. So there's card number 1. Just as easy as that. You have the happy birthday with the ice cream cone on the inside. You have the shaker on the outside. Now that I've done the both of them, I think I like my ribbon a little bit better on this side, but no, I think they both turned out really nice. So I'm really happy with both of my cards. Okay, let's move to card number 2. Looks like this. Get our packet out. Let's go ahead first thing and just fold our card base in half. Set that aside for later. And then there's also a piece of Pool Party. That's going to be our layer. We'll set that aside. And then there's 2 pieces of white cardstock. One is a little bit bigger than the other. The bigger one is the inside, and the other one is the front. And those are the 2 we're going to stamp on. Let's start with the front. So what I did was I took a ruler and I measured down 2 1/4 inches, and then I took and just put a little pencil line right there, about 2 1/4 inches. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make a really light pencil mark across my card, because I would like my popsicles to be even here along the bottom. Now let me show you a practice, because there's different things with the popsicles. So you can see my popsicles here, they're almost all the same size, but not quite. This yellow one is a little bit bigger because the popsicles are 2-step stamping. And so in the popsicle, I didn't stamp them, the 2 stamps together, quite as close. The Pool Party, I got closer. And yet I like the Coastal Cabana, that was the closest or the shortest popsicle. Now in this stamp example, I just stamped them both full strength. On this card, I stamped the bottom full strength, and then I stamped off on the top. So after stamping them, I like this better. This is how I'm gonna do my stamping today. So I'm gonna bring back in my Pierce mat and my scratch paper. I'm gonna turn it this way. And my front piece of Whisper White. Now remember, this is the one that's just a little bit smaller than the other one. And I'm gonna start with my middle popsicle, which is Daffodil Delight. And I'm gonna start with the bottom half of my popsicle. So it just looks like a square with a bite out of the top. And full strength, I want the bottom part to be full strength. I'm gonna ink it up good. One more time just for measure. And then try to pick about the center of my cardstock and line it up right there on that pencil mark. So it looks like that. Now with the top part, which is kind of like the oval, looks like this. I'm gonna ink him up good. I'm gonna stamp him off, and I'm gonna bring him pretty close so they're almost on top of one another, and stamp him down like that. And so then that's how my popsicle looks. Now we need to clean this up. I got my chamois again. I'm gonna clean up my stamps. Just like we did with the ice cream on the first card, I'm gonna clean them. And then I'm gonna test them. I'm gonna put my ink away and grab in my next color, which I'm going to stamp the Calypso Coral. I'm gonna stamp the bottom first, just like I did the first time. Full strength, lining it up with my pencil mark. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Pretty close. And then we're going to ink up the top half. I'm going to stamp it off and then put it pretty close. And I'm going to try to look at the top of my popsicles to get them so they're about the same height. And I probably won't be perfect, but close is good for me. Okay, same thing again. Now I'm going to clean my stamps. Put my chamois away, test my stamps. Okay, now it's time to bring in that pool party ink. Same thing again, I'm going to stamp the bottom on that pencil mark. Oh, I missed that time, but it's close enough. Going to stamp off, stamp the top, try to get them about the same height. And there we go, there's our 3. Now I'm going to set this aside and let this ink dry just a little bit. Let me put this away. And while I'm letting that ink dry, I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to clean my stamps. Oh, and I shouldn't have cleaned my stamp. You know what I should have done is bring in the inside of my card. Now this is the larger of the white. Let's go ahead and I'll use that pool party again. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp a popsicle here. And I'm going to just stamp one like that. Same thing. Stamp him off. And then that second layer. And there's my popsicle. Okay, now I can clean up a little bit. Clean this one. And clean this one. Let's go ahead and take the stamp set and put my popsicles away. And I also want to put away this ice cream cone and bring in the popsicle stick. So there's a solid popsicle stick. And there's a piece that looks like this. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I'll show you on the stamp set. It looks like this. These are the 2 pieces here of the popsicle, of the stick. Okay. And then some soft suede ink. And I'm going to do the same thing on the solid piece. I'm going to stamp off and then just stamp that right at the edge excuse me, of my popsicle, and then stamp that little wood there, and then look how cute that looks on your card. Okay, let's do the same thing now here. So the first thing I need to do is make sure my ink is dry. Bring in that eraser. I'm going to just kind of make sure it's clean by rubbing off the dirty parts there. Now I got blue on for my paper, but I'd say he's pretty, try again. Here we go. Now it's clean. And I'm going to erase that line. Now, if your ink is dry, your ink won't smear or anything when you erase that pencil line, even if it's under your ink. There we go, just like that. Now let's add our sticks to our popsicles. I'm going to just stamp each one, put the stick down, put the stick down, and then add that wood tone to it for our stick, and our stick, and our stick. And there we go. Okay, so last on the front of the card, oops, which I just put away, now we need to stamp that happy birthday on there, and that's where I'm going to use the Memento black ink and my happy birthday. And I'm going to ink it up really good because I want it to be nice and dark and I'm gonna stamp it on my sticks. So I wanna make sure it's got lots of ink on there. And I'm gonna try to get it straight, and I'm gonna just lay it right here toward the bottom. Hold that down, or can you see, let that ink sink in. Ready? Ta-da! And I think that looks really good, just like that. So let's go ahead and put, oh, we should stamp something. Let's look at our stamp set. So we have You're So Cool. I'm gonna put Hope It's Sweet on the inside of this card. So bring in that stamp. I'm gonna just stamp it in black since I stamped my sentiment in black on the front. And I'm gonna just pop it right here on top of my little popsicle, just like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this piece. This is the inside, and I'm gonna set it on the inside of our soft suede base. That, and then we just layer our stamped white piece on top of our pool party. Now this piece, this card on my sample card is just flat. It would be really simple to mail. You might have to have extra postage because of these little bumps, but you might not. But I want to try this one out. I'm going to layer this one up on dimensional so we can see the difference in the two. I like to use 5 dimensionals, one in the center here just so my, well, what I call so my tummy doesn't sag. Oh, and I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Terrible timing. Okay, excuse me. And we're going to lay this right here on the front of our card. So it looks like that. Now I took some, and I don't know if you can see them. Let me see if I can lay them on here maybe and show you. I took some of those little clear dots. They're embellishments. They're in the annual catalog with the Forever Greenery, and I thought maybe I had them here. Oh, I do have them right here. Hold on, to show you. They come in a little container like this, and they're green and white and all different kinds of sizes. Now I took the time and I picked out the big ones and the little ones, and I took 6 of them and I glued them to a piece of window sheet for you to use on your card. And I'm hoping that this works because this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. But I'm gonna pluck those off of there. Hopefully I can get them off of there. Yep. Take it off of there, and then I'm gonna just put 2 of them. Oh, it's gonna work. I kind of worried about this because, like I said, I've never done it before, making my own adhesive back embellishments. This one I might have to add some glue to it, but let's see. But I'm gonna put 1 on each of my popsicles here. And 1 there. Whoop, got away from me. 1 there. Go. And now just the little ones on there too. They're not quite as nice as the one that Stampin' Up sells, but when you're trying to mail, yeah, I'm gonna have to add some adhesive to those. That's a good thing though. Let me show you how I add adhesive to my little embellishments like that. So I take my silicone mat and I just put a glob of glue here on my silicone mat. And then I take my pick tool here and I use the, well, I call it the goober end, but the pickup end, I pick up my embellishment, add a little bit of glue, and then I set it down and hold it for a second, let that glue dry, and have your embellishment on. Let's do the same thing to this one because he's not stuck on there very well now. Oh, let that glue dry, Kathy. And then look how easy it is to add embellishments. That one's stuck on, that one's stuck on. Let's see about these two. There we go. And there's my embellishments on my final card like that. And that little embellishment just adds that wow, makes it look like it's icy cold on your little card like that. So I hope that you like my cards. I hope that you like them enough that you're interested in buying my class. So let me explain to you now how you can get these packets mailed to you. So if you go to my online store, kathyhouse.stampinup.net, and you place a $30 order or more using this host code here, I will send you the card packet, which look like, I use my card packet. Do I have another one here? Maybe I don't, but I'll send you the card packet to make the 2 cards, plus the printed out sheet that has all the supplies, the dimensions, and the pictures of the cards, and of course my handmade card, my completed card for you. Here, I found the card kit and the card kit. So that's what you would get. And like I said, all you have to do is place a $30 order at kathyhouse.stampinup.net and make sure you use the host code. If you have any questions, be sure and give me an email. I hope you liked my class, and I hope I see you again real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.